It's Friday on the Beat, and you know that means it's time to fall back. And we cap this week with a first for our Fallback Friday series, the first sitting U.S. Senator to jump into the fray, Richard Blumenthal, representing Connecticut. And we're joined by The Daily Show co-creator Liz Winstead, who works on choice and women's health with the comedy troupe Lady Parts Justice. We're bringing out the air horns.
Apparently, that's exciting. It became very clown-like in here. It felt like we had a circus environment.
Senator, thank you for taking this risk.
Well, I'm just a little bit disappointed already. You know, I do comedy, too.
I didn't know that. Is that a joke?
That's a joke. You know, I'm one of the unfunniest people you will ever meet.
And that makes it all the more courageous. You know what? We're going to do one more air horn for the first U.S. Senator here. Hit it. What do you think of that, Liz?
I'm really proud. The timing has been horrible, first of all. But I feel like the last one, you nailed it. It was like, Senator. Okay, see? Just... There's a thing. It's kind of like you listen, observe, horn.
Liz, who needs to fall back this week?
I think, I don't even know if it's a fallback more than it is just, yeah, I guess it is. Kanye needs to fall back for his feckless Valentine's Day gift to Kim Kardashian. The video was super bizarre. They took the garage and then he went to a gas station and got all the roses. And then put him out on the ground.
Who's
and
that playing?
Had Kenny G come. And all of this feels like, first of all, don't go to the gas station to get the roses because that's for the poor people and the people who don't have Kanye money. So when you have Kanye money, like, do a blanket of roses.
He looks pretty happy with himself on this, though.
But it's Kenny G. Are you breaking up with her? Or are you wanting to, this is not romantic. This is kind of I feel like it's threat. I feel like it's just like a bet.
I never thought I would stick up for Kenny G. But it is romantic. A lot of people find romance in his music, Liz.
But most people find his music at a strip mall. And so I'm just saying.
Hold on. Kenny G's music is very popular, and it's brought a lot of joy to a lot of people.
I think that's great. I feel like if you were the richest person in the world and you made that money doing music, maybe you could find
That's a great point.
Some badass.
That's a great point. Like, of all the people, Kanye West went for a very obvious and
like
arguably
you wouldn't go to
dated.
Blue Note, you wouldn't do, like, I feel like you could, I don't know.
Have you ever listened to Kenny G, Senator?
I have, yeah.
And would you consider it legitimate romance music?
This is gonna really affect your career. So careful how you answer this. I'm just saying.
This is going to be used against me in my next.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I do consider it legitimate. Any music is, in the right context, legitimate romance.
You're the odd one out now.
So here's the deal. It wasn't how do the two of us feel about this fallback.
Okay.
It would be if I was dating a very rich musician and he laid out the garage full of that and then Kenny G, that would not be my jam.
It really goes to questioning Kanye as a musician. I'm going to move on, as we do sometimes in this business.
You gotta.
Senator, who needs to fall back?
I think a few of my colleagues need to take a deep breath on the Green New Deal. Senator Barrasso, who said that the Green New Deal would eliminate ice cream. Liz Cheney, representative also from Wyoming, saying that it would eliminate cows and airplane travel.
I think we have some of that, Senator. Let's listen to Liz Cheney going ham on the Green New Deal. Take a look.
When we outlaw plane travel, we outlaw gasoline, we outlaw cars, I think actually probably the entire U.S. military because of the Green New Deal.
There's another victim of the Green New Deal. It's ice cream. Livestock will be banned. Say goodbye to dairy, to beef, to family farms, to ranches. Americans' favorites like cheeseburgers and a milkshake will become a thing of the past.
Cheeseburgers and milkshake. That would be a gut punch for me, I just want to say.
I mean, in fact, we have to walk home tonight because there are no more cars as of tonight because
no
of
more
the Green
planes.
Does it say something? You're basically backing up AOC here. Does it say something that she has them so shook, so scared about the deal?
It's not really her, with all due respect.
No.
I'm a co-sponsor. So are a number of my colleagues in the United States Senate, including my good friend Ed Markey, who's leading this effort.
Well, you guys held a joint press conference with her, I believe Markey and her.
I think that the Republican strategy here is to personalize it to her, when in fact it is about a basic concept of goals and objectives and projects that will make us less dependent on emissions producing energy, in fact, go to renewables and clean energy, rebuild infrastructure, change the way that we travel, relying more on the kinds of vehicles that are less emission producing.
Well,
It's
I mean,
sort
Liz,
of a basic concept.
Isn't that the ultimate fallback? Shouldn't fossil fuels fall back?
I think fossil fuels should always fall back because, you know, you can joke about some things, but like literally the emission, I grew up in Minnesota. The emissions that comes from cows is real. Like, that's not a joke.
Would you trade Kenny G to get rid of global warming?
I think that we're going to have more Kenny G if we have the Green New Deal because he is unplugged and that is using.
On that note, the air horns are playing us out. Liz, Dick.
I have to take exception.
We'll have you both back. This is great. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.